Hi, this is Diana from Yarnetti's Crochet, and today we're going to be making the Quick and Lacy Beanie. If you've been looking for a fast, beautiful, lightweight beanie, this is it. This beanie is easy to wear in warmer weather and only uses about 150 yards or less of 3-weight yarn. I can make this hat in under 2 hours, and that includes weaving in the tails as long as no one is bothering me. So this is a top-down pattern, so you're going to start with the crown, complete the body of the hat, and then I'm going to show you how to make a very nice edging at the very end. Before I forget, please like and subscribe if you find this video helpful or useful. The supplies we will be using today, we're going to be using 2 crochet hooks. We will be using a 4mm or G hook and a 3.75 or F hook. You're also going to need scissors. You'll need a yarn needle. I like to use either a bent tip needle or a large eye embroidery needle with a needle threader. You're going to need something to measure your crown as you're going along in the body of your hat. And then also make sure that you have at least 1 stitch marker. When I start the body of the hat, I like to mark the first row or round of the hat with a stitch marker so I can easily see how many rounds I have completed in the hat. And today, all of these hats are made with Coboo yarn, which is a combination of it's a combination of cotton and bamboo. It's a 3-weight yarn. This is the color tan. This is the color olive. This is peach. And this one is mauve. And as you can see, it has lovely drape and is very lightweight, perfect for warmer weather. And today we will be using the color pale pink. And we will be using a pattern, and it's free. You can download it for free. It'll be in the show notes. This is my draft. You'll be getting a nicer version of it without my notes all over it. But that's available too. You can follow along with the pattern as we work on the hat. In the pattern, it's kind of nice. What I've done is there are links. If you're using it with a device like your phone or a tablet, you can click on the video support link, and it will take you to the exact spot, and it links to the timestamp in the video. So if you need help with that particular round, you can access that very quickly by using the link. And also be sure to stick to the end, because I will be giving you some tips on how you can increase the size of your hat or decrease the size of your hat. Today we will be making a women's size medium hat. And we're going to get started with either a chain 4 and a slip knot, or slip stitch I should say, to form a ring, or you can use a magic circle. I like to use a magic circle, so that's what I'm going to use today. This is how I make a magic circle. I do have a video on how to make a magic circle. It's an okay video, but there are a lot of great creators out there that have wonderful videos on how to make a magic circle. I encourage you to find one that makes sense to you and practice it, because a magic circle is a great skill to have in your crochet toolbox. So with our magic circle, we're going to work V stitches into the circle. So the first V stitch we're going to make is going to be a chain 3. So we already have our chain when we made our magic circle. Then add 2 more chains. So we have 3 chains there. Then a double crochet into the ring. This forms our first V stitch. Now we're going to add 4 more V stitches into the center of the ring, and for a total of 5 V stitches in our magic circle. So the way we do that is we make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That counts as a V-stitch. So now we have 2 V-stitches. We have our first V-stitch, our beginning V-stitch, and our second one. We need to add 3 more V-stitches to the center of that ring. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's another V-stitch. There's the 4th V-stitch. Whoops, I don't make a chain there. I apologize for that. And I'm going to double check to make sure I have 5 V-stitches in my center. I'm going to untangle my magic circle tail so that when I pull it tight, there's no knots in it. So let's just double check here. Here's the first V-stitch. There's 1 here. 1, 2. I can tell it's a V-stitch because there's the chain space. 3, 4, and 5. Yes, I have my 5 V-stitches. Now throughout this hat, until we get to the edging, you're only going to be crocheting into chain spaces. You're not going to be crocheting into stitches until we get to the edging. So you're going to be crocheting into the chain space. So when we join, we're going to insert our hook into the chain space of the first V-stitch, and we're going to slip stitch to join. Now we're ready to start round 2. So in round 2, we're going to create V-stitch increases into every chain space that we've created so far. So a beginning V-stitch increase looks like this. Chain 3, double crochet into that previous chain space, chain 1, double crochet. So what we did is we created 2 chain spaces. Now we're going to do a chain space increase into the next chain space. So you're going to see these 2 double crochets. Skip those. Do not crochet into those. Don't crochet between them. You're only crocheting into the chain space. You're going to work a V-stitch increase, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, V-stitch increase. Skip these 2 double crochets, V-stitch increase into the next chain space. You're going to have a total of 5 V-stitch increases. You have, I think, 2 more to go. Go ahead and finish those, and I will see you at the join. We've completed all 5 of our V-stitch increases, and now we're going to join into the chain space of the first beginning V-stitch increase. Now we're ready for round 3. In round 3, we're going to add a V-stitch increase into every chain space around. The chain spaces are the V-stitches. You're not crocheting between these increases. There's no chain space here. There's a space, but there's no chain space here. You're only crocheting into the chain spaces. So let's make our first beginning V-stitch increase into that beginning chain space. Chain 3, double, chain 1, double. Here's our next chain space. Double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. We're going to look for our next chain space. There it is. We're going to add that increase, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. So work a V-stitch increase into every chain space around. And I will meet you at the end for the join. You're going to have 10 V-stitch increases. We're at the end of round 3. We're going to join by inserting our hook and making a slip stitch into the chain space of the first beginning V-stitch increase. Now we are ready for round 4. Round 4 is a no increase round. We're going to start off by chaining 3, double crochet into the first chain space. That forms a V-stitch. We're going to work a V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain, double crochet into each chain space around. Make sure you're working into the chain spaces and not between stitches. Look for the chain space. So go ahead and work your V stitches in every chain space around, and I will meet you at the end for the join. We're at the end of round 4. We're going to slip stitch into the chain space of the first V and slip stitch. I'm just going to measure our crown so far to see if I'm on track here. Should be right around 4 inches. Yeah, right around 4 inches so far. Okay, so now we're ready for round 5. Round 5 is also a no increase round. So you're going to start off with a chain 3, a beginning V stitch, which is a chain 3 double crochet. And then in each of these V stitches that you created in round 4, you're going to add another V stitch right into those chain spaces. So go ahead and complete a V stitch in each V stitch around. You're going to have a total of 20 V stitches. I'll meet you at the end for the join. Okay, we're at the end of round 5. We're going to slip stitch into the chain space of the first V stitch. If it curls up a little bit, that's okay, because that was a non-increase round and we're forming a rounded dome of our crown. So the next round is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, round 6. So we're going to start with a beginning V stitch increase. So this is how that works. You're going to do a chain 3, double crochet into the chain space, the first chain space, chain 1, double crochet into the same chain space. So you essentially made 2 chain spaces there. In the next V stitch, or in the next chain space, you're going to add a V stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And that's the pattern. So in the next stitch, we're going to add a V stitch increase, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. In the next stitch, a V in the V. So a V stitch in the chain space of that V stitch from the previous round. So that's the pattern. Increase, regular V. Increase, regular V. And continue that pattern all the way around. I'll meet you at the end for the join. Okay, we're at the end of round 6, and I need to slip stitch into the chain space for our join. And I'm also going to measure my crown to see how we're doing. After 6 rounds, I have 5.5 inches, approximately. Yeah, about 5.5 inches. So for round 7, Actually, before I go to round 7, I just wanted to tell you, you're going to have 10 V-stitch increases and 10 regular V's in this round. So for round 7, it's a no increase round. So you're going to start off with a beginning V-stitch into the chain space, a V-stitch into the next chain space, and a V-stitch in every chain space around. So at the end of round 7, you're going to have 30 V-stitches all the way around. So complete your 30 V-stitches, and I will see you at the end for the join. We're at the end of round 7, and we just need to slip stitch into the chain space for the join. And now we're ready to start round 8. Now, if you're doing a size medium, you're going to start with a V-stitch increase. Actually, if you're doing a small, medium, or large, you're all going to start off with this V-stitch increase, which is the chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the first chain space. Now if you're making a small, all you do now is you do a V-stitch in each chain space all the way around. So you just have one increase for the small. For the medium, you're going to have 2 increases on either end, and you're going to have an increase halfway through. And for the large, you're going to have 3 increases. And I'll give you those stitch counts. For the medium, we're going to go ahead. We made our first increase. We're going to do another 14 V-stitches in each chain space. So in each chain, the next 14 V-stitches, you're going to work a V-stitch. So go ahead and work your 14 V-stitches, and I will meet you halfway through the round. So I completed my first increase in the first chain space, then 14 V-stitches in the chain spaces. Now I need to add another increase in the next V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, double crochet. Now you're going to complete this round if you're doing a size medium by completing another 14 V-stitches until you get to the very end. I will go ahead and complete your V-stitches, and I'll meet you at the end for the join. We're at the end of round 8, and I need to slip stitch into the chain space. So for a medium, and that's the size that I'm making today, I have 2 increases. If you're making a size large, you're going to start off with your increase, and then you're going to add another 9 V-stitches, add another increase, 9 V-stitches, and then finish up with another 9. For the small, you just add 1 increase, and then you V-stitch all the way around to the end. So that is the end of the crown rounds. Now we're going to start the body rounds, and for the body rounds, you're just going to make a V-stitch into every stitch around. So for your size medium, you're going to have 32 V-stitches all the way around. For a small, you'll have 31. For a large, you're going to have 33. So go ahead and work a V-stitch into every stitch around for the first body round, and I will meet you at the end for the join. I'm at the end of the first body round, which is round 9. I'm going to slip stitch join into the chain space, and I mark the first round of the body with a stitch marker because it makes it easier to count the rounds as you continue to go along. So I typically do 8 body rounds, continue to use your G or 4mm hook for the first 6 body rounds. Then for the last 2 body rounds and for the remainder of the hat, switch to an F or 3.75mm hook. So go ahead and complete your body rounds, and I will see you at the join of the last body round so that we can start the edge of the hat. Oh dear, I have a freeloader in the middle of my filming area. So I finished. Well, if you don't like it, then move. That's the way it works. Wow. Anyway, so I have 6 rounds I have 8 body rounds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with my 4mm hook, and I had 2 rounds with my 3.75 or F hook. And now I'm going to join. Now this first V-stitch right here counts as a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, because that's what a V-stitch is. Gracie, stop. Okay. Stop. Okay. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is I have a chain 3 here. I don't use a chain 4 because it makes the V just way too big. So I'm going to join into this second chain right here with a slip stitch. Boy, I didn't do a good job with that. Let me try that again. I split the yarn, which is easy to do. Okay, so I slip stitch, and I'm going to chain 1, and this first round of edging is a single crochet edging. So I'm going to work a single crochet into that join, and then I'm going to work a single crochet into the chain space, and then I'm going to work a single crochet into the top of that first double crochet. So you're going to be working single crochets in the tops of all the double crochet stitches, and you're going to work a single crochet in the chain space of the V. So a single crochet in the top of each double, and a single crochet in the chain space. So you're going to have a total of 96 single crochets when you're done. So go ahead and complete your single crochets, and I will meet you at the end for the join. So we're at the end of our round 17, which is our single crochet edge, and we're going to join into the first single crochet. And the next round, instead of normally you would continue to crochet in this direction, we're going to be crocheting in the opposite direction, and we're going to be doing some reverse single crochet stitches. This edge is a very nice flat edge, but it has just a little bit of a decorative braided feel and look. And it also serves to give the edge a little bit more stability, so it's less likely to stretch out. So the way that we make this edge is we start off with a chain 1. We're going to skip this first single crochet stitch, and then we're going to reverse single crochet into the next stitch right here. And the way you do that is you insert your hook from front to back, pull up a loop, pull it through just like you're doing a single crochet, yarn over, and pull through both loops on your hook. And it makes kind of it makes that braided look. Next, you're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, reverse single crochet in the next. Go in through the front, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through just like you would with a regular single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, reverse single crochet into the next. And as you can see the braided edge starting to form. So go ahead and complete your edging, and I'll meet you at the end for the join. So I have 1 single crochet left. I already did my reverse single crochet and I chained 1. I'm going to remove my hook, leave the loop where it is. I'm going to reinsert it into the chain space of that first stitch, and go ahead and grab that loop and bring it back through. Then slip stitch and fasten off. So the only thing left to do now is to weave in our tails. So you can use a bent tip yarn needle, or I like to use a large eye embroidery needle with a needle threader. And I think the smaller needle does a better job getting underneath the stitches. So when I weave in my tail for my magic circle, I go around and around and around the magic circle. At least I go around a full circle around in one direction, and then I go in the other opposite direction before I fasten off and clip my yarn. And I've not had an issue with my magic circle coming undone, as long as I take my time and go into both directions before I clip. So I went in both directions. I'm going to go ahead and clip that. And the tail on the edge, this is another reason I like to use this large eye embroidery needle. It really can get in between the stitches. So I fastened off, so there's a little bit of a knot there. So what I do is I go behind and I pull it through and I pull it down, and it blends right in with the edge. Sheesh. Blends right in with the edge. And then I go back down through the front side. Doesn't that look nice? And then I weave in from the back. So I do my best to weave in 3 different directions, because this yarn that I'm using, this Coboo, is a combination of cotton and bamboo. It's very slippery, which is why it drapes so beautifully and it has such beautiful softness. But the slipperiness of the yarn, it can cause your tails to come out if you haven't done a thorough, tidy job in weaving in your tails. So it's important that you take your time. Make sure I'll split the yarn with the needle and go into multiple directions before I clip that yarn. And when I do that, I never have an issue with my yarn tails coming out. Now I will say, if you're using Coboo yarn or a bamboo yarn and you encounter a knot in the yarn as you're crocheting, do not continue to crochet with that knot left in the yarn. You need to clip out that knot and rejoin your yarn, because I guarantee that knot will end up fuzzing up and fraying out and coming out, and you will be very sad because what you've crocheted will come out. So it's important. Knots don't work with slippery yarn. It's just not a good idea. So I've woven that in multiple different directions. I'm going to go one more just to be on the safe side. I'm going to split my yarn and then I'm going to clip it. And there's the quick lacy beanie, and it has a beautiful shape. It's nice and cool, perfect for summer. And if you found this video and my pattern helpful or useful, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you're a beginner, don't give up. You're doing better than you think. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.